Big Podcast.
It's Build a Big Podcast, the marketing podcast for podcasters. David Hooper with you, bigpodcast.com. That's the website. And this podcast, all about growing your audience, making something that people care about. And by something, I mean a podcast, spreading your message, having impact, making money with your message. This is the audio edition of my weekly newsletter. That is called Big Podcast Insider. You will find it at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. Everything that I'm talking about is linked at that website. You go there, you'll find more information, all the graphics that I'm talking about, and you'll be able to sign up to get it via email. It comes out every Friday morning, New York City time. On this episode, is your podcast stuck? Try this. Why your videos need subtitles, limited edition merch and giveaways, and who's the boss? Also, some classified ads of things that you'll want to know about. This episode brought to you by Riverside.fm, the leading platform to record studio quality, remote podcasts and videos. You've got to love remote podcasting. Just this week, I was talking to a guy from India. Sounds like we are in the next room. Crazy, right? And you can make that happen with Riverside. 70,000 people and companies do. Companies like Spotify and the New York Times. You simply send a web link. Your guest joins Riverside Studio via a browser. Everything is done for you. High quality recording, regardless of you or your guest internet quality. It doesn't matter if you're next door, in the next state, or in the next country. You're going to sound just like you're in the same room. You can try it for free. They'll give you a couple of hours. Riverside.fm is the URL to go to. Take a look at it. Test drive it. Kick the tires. Here is a discount code if you want to buy. Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. Don't pay full price. Get 15% off with the discount code Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. That's Riverside.fm. The discount code Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. I mentioned everything in the newsletter issue that I'm going to cover in between each of these stories because I'm so flawless in my flow from one thing to the next. You're going to hear this sound.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
That's how you know that I've moved on. Again, if you want these links, they're at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. You ready? Here we go. Is your podcast stuck? Try this. It happens to the best of us. When starting a podcast, we are excited. We've got good intentions. Then we find ourselves plateauing at a crossroads. Should we push forward or should we hang it up? If you're in this situation, I can help you. It's a program called Big Podcast AMP. AMP stands for Audio Monetization Program. You'll join dozens of other podcasters making small tweaks to their podcast and getting big results. The things that I talked about at the top of this episode. More listeners, more subscribers, more attention. It is very easy to do when you do it step by step. It's very easy to do when you do it within a community. It's bigpodcast.com/AMP. It is a new program. It is retooled. You've heard me talking about the Podcast Jumpstart. That is included free with Big Podcast AMP. And right now, it's about the same price as what you're probably paying for your audio software. Cheap, right? Maybe a little bit more. $50 a month. That's it. You were thinking more, right? Yeah, you were. But that's what it is. Get your podcast unstuck with Big Podcast AMP, audio monetization program, bigpodcast.com/AMP, or as always, newsletter.bigpodcast.com.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Why your videos need subtitles. Several years ago, was it South by Southwest? You know this conference? The music version of the conference, not the one for interactive, what everybody says when they think South by Southwest now. Started in the 90s. It was just a music conference. That's the one that I attended, almost 20 years of that. And I was there, and there were some people there where they would plug up your ears. You would get custom, what they call in-ears, either earplugs or else monitors for you to listen to yourself on stage. So I was getting some of these. She looks in my ears and she said, I can't work on you today. I said, what? She said, I can't. You got too much stuff in there. You need to go to a doctor to look at this. And I'm telling you this because one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to hear a thing. And I don't want you to be freaked out. You just need to have somebody unclog your ears. I said, okay. Sure enough. Maybe 10 years later, I wake up not hearing a thing out of my left ear. Had to go to the doctor. Had to have them scrape and scrape and scrape all this junk out of my ears. It was crazy. Now I'm good to go. All of a sudden I can hear high frequencies, all sorts of stuff I hadn't heard forever. Anyway, that may be happening to you. It's happening to a lot of people. This is one of the reasons why your videos need subtitles. If you're doing any kind of video, online, offline, people are busy. Think about how you're scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, whatever. You're probably doing that while you're doing something else. Maybe you don't have the sound on. Just like if you were to see a television in an elevator, in a gym, public places. Sometimes people are consuming videos without the audio. That's very common. It's a noisy world. Sometimes people like me, people wear headphones a lot. Their ears have all sorts of gunk in them that's keeping them from hearing your videos like they should. And because of this, you want to have subtitles. Also, seeing words as you hear them helps with comprehension. If you're selling something via video, it's going to help with conversion. I've got some interesting stats, information that you might find helpful as far as how microphones work, how sound is picked up, and how sound is transmitted. It is not often as clear as we think that it is. Now, you're a podcaster. You know a lot of this. You know that you've got to stay on the mic. You know how sound is picked up and how important that is. Mics don't always pick up what we need. If you've got videos, you do need subtitles. That rule remains regardless of how great you are at picking up audio. Yeah, people will be able to hear you, but when they read along with what they're hearing, your message is more likely to stick. This is one of the reasons that hardcore book fans often buy both an audio and print version of the books that they read. Have you seen this? It's a trend. It's great for somebody like me who's got books. You're going to sell double copies. But people will read as they are listening to an audiobook. If it's something very important, that's huge. And that's something that's going to help you with your video. Check out the information and the videos I've got on this at newsletter.bigpodcast.com.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I want you to steal this idea. This is the new section of the newsletter. Steal this idea, ideas that you can use in your podcast marketing. This is about limited edition merch and giveaways. Dutch Brothers Coffee. Have you heard of it? I guess it's a regional thing. I know about it, but not really. It's one of those things like Tim Hortons. Some people in parts of the country, they know about it. Others don't. It's like Crystal and White Castle, or Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, In-N-Out Burger, or Five Guys. We got different regional things, and Dutch Brothers is one of those things when it comes to coffee. They encourage people to buy more and different drinks with limited edition stickers. Can you believe that? We are manipulated by little pieces of sticky paper that probably don't even cost a penny to produce. If you want to see something really crazy, I've got some listings linked on eBay. They're newsletter.bigpodcast.com. You'll get an idea of how big this community is. Here's the idea for you to steal. People love to collect things, especially when they're in limited supply. They want to be the only ones or one of a very few to get these things. And you can copy Dutch Brothers. Do this with stickers for your podcast. It's a super easy trick that you can use to get people excited about what you are doing and build community around listeners. For example, on this podcast episode, maybe I've got a limited edition sticker. If you want the limited edition sticker, you send me a SAISY. You know what that is? Self-addressed stamped envelope. The Gen Xers do. Zoom.
If you don't know now, don't you give up hope. It's a self-addressed stamped envelope. Self-addressed, that means addressed to yourself. Add a stamp, and then it will return itself. I get it. SAISY means self-addressed stamped envelope. But what the heck do you do with the SAISY? Send it to Zoom!
A SAISY. Or maybe you just give me your address. I give you a password. Send me your address. I'll send you a limited edition sticker. I mean, people are really into this stuff. If you want to develop community within your podcast audience, this is the way to do it. Then you have them send a photo of that sticker in the wild. And this is the way to do it. It's what the coal miners do. You know, I'm a good Southern man, great-grandfather, coal miners, baby. They were deep in the dregs of the West Virginia mountains. And this is what they do with coal miners when they want them to have safety training. They will give them stickers. And it seems silly, right? We're like, what? These big, tough coal miners, these podcast listeners, they're being manipulated by stickers? Yeah, they are. And they give them two. One for their helmets, little bit of flair. Go look at a coal miner helmet, bunch of stickers on it. That's safety training. And this workplace has not had an accident. That gets them to do things. They give them a second sticker. They put that in a book. People love stickers, man. It's not just for kids. And this is something you can do for your podcast audience. I've got a $10 credit for Sticker Mule for you. That'll get you started. That's at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. Here's your pro tip. Get the $10 credit. Don't use it immediately. When you go to this link, wait a couple minutes, then go on social media. You're going to see all sorts of discount ads for Sticker Mule and other similar companies. Stickers are cheap. Stickers are easy. People love them. I've got stickers for Big Podcast. If you want to see them, I've got them linked. Newsletter.bigpodcast.com. In fact, I love these stickers myself. I'm working with a clipboard right now. I do this for all episodes that I do. I've done it since 2005. Had the same clipboard for almost 20 years. I've got all sorts of stickers on here. One from Headliner. You know that company, Focusrite. I've got something from a podcast called What's Hot in the Strip Clubs. Do you know these guys? It's a countdown show. What's hot in the strip clubs? It's strip club music. Not what you think. It's a music show. I've got some stuff from Lightning 100. That's the radio station where I broadcast from. Podcast Editors Club. I've talked about Steve Stewart. He's on here. Podcast Boost. All sorts of things on this clipboard. If you want to see it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. Here's the big thing. It's not necessarily stickers. Stickers is just a cheap and easy way for you to get involved with this. The big thing, limited edition merch. Stickers work. Magnets work. I've actually got a link for 50 custom magnets for $9 if you want that. Again, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. You might have heard my Taylor Swift episode a couple episodes ago. Musicians have known it forever. And Taylor Swift, man, oh man, oh man. She does this every single show. You go see her in Nashville, she's got a special Nashville shirt. You go see her in Philadelphia, special Philadelphia shirt. She knows about limited edition merchandise. It's for the collectors. It's for people to tell the story. I was there at that event. I heard that episode. You can do the same thing. Newsletter.bigpodcast.com for all these examples. Steal this idea. You could literally do it for $20. If you get those stickers, if you send one to me, I'm going to put it on this clipboard. But if you just send me a photo, I'm going to help you get the word out about it. I'm going to put together some of these limited merchandise stories. I'd love for you to be part of it. Anyway, newsletter.bigpodcast.com for all the links to everything that I'm talking about.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who's the boss? Hey, I'm from the South. I just talked about that. And one of the things we have down here, nice manners. But if a guest shows up for your podcast without what's needed for you to get the interview that you need, it is perfectly acceptable for you to delay that interview or completely cancel it. I've done it. Somebody connects. Sounds like they're in a cave. Where are you? Are you in a cave? What's going on? No, I'm using a Blue Yeti. Okay, well, where is it? Is it up next to your mouth? No, it's on the other side of the room. You need to get a little bit closer to the mic. That's how I would handle that. You need to be in a quiet room. That's how I would handle that. I mean, I have people all the time. I have people, try to do something from a car. We can just do it from the car. No, we cannot do it from the car. This is how I frame it. Look, your message is important. Your message is important. I want you to sound as good as I sound because I sound great. I'm in a tricked out studio. I've got a professional mic. I'm going through all this equipment, making me sound good. That gives me a lot of authority, and I want you to have that same authority. It's a mismatch when I sound this good, you've got a mobile phone connection or 2 tin cans and a string. That's how to handle it. You are the boss. Your listeners deserve a good sounding podcast. I'll bring this up because I've got a funny joke about it. It's linked at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. If you want to see it, go check it out, newsletter.bigpodcast.com.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
This is a quick one. I'm going to wrap up with some classified ads. 2 things for you. 1, Swell AI. You've heard a lot about AI. Most AI tools for podcasters, overhyped. Not Swell AI. It automates writing podcast summaries, articles, social posts, and more. You can manage multiple shows in one dashboard, build custom templates for each show, and automatically get your episodes from Google Drive, Dropbox, and Zoom. You can get started for free. Swell AI is the tool. It'll even make a long form article out of your podcast episode. It is amazing. Again, you're going to get started for free. You've got to try it. Very rarely do I have these moments these days where I'm like, wow, that is cool. And using AI with specific AI tools made just for podcasters, that's one of the things that does it. Swell AI will do it. It is linked at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. Related, Audio Pen, the easiest way to convert messy thoughts into clear text, including podcast outlines. Just hit record, then start rambling. If you were like me, you come up with all sorts of ideas as you're going on about your day. Maybe you've even pulled out your phone and recorded an audio message. Blah, 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 bling, bling, blah, blah, blah. All your random thoughts, just do a brain dump of what you're thinking about. I think this would be a good idea, and here's the quote, blah, blah, blah. Audio Pen takes that kind of audio, that word vomit, blah, and it comes up with an outline for you. If you're going to use 2 AI tools for your podcast, Audio Pen, Swell AI. Audio Pen before, Swell AI afterwards. Both of them are linked, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. Hey, thanks for hanging with me again. You can subscribe to the newsletter, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. I send it out every Friday morning, New York time. I know I've been a little bit behind on the episodes. I've been working on things like Big Podcast Amp. I talked about that at the beginning of this episode. If you're interested, do check it out. I'm currently accepting people at the founding rate, and it is a bargain. Bigpodcast.com/amp for that. Anyway, things are starting to slow down. I'm back to it, back to doing these episodes regularly. And if you want to make sure that you do not miss one of them, here's how to do that. Bigpodcast.com/subscribe. Some people call it follow these days. I'm old school. Bigpodcast.com/subscribe. You're going to find 3 buttons, one for iPhone, one for Android, one with an RSS feed. And if you want to, I've got a QR code that you can scan. It makes it easy. You hold your phone up to it, zips that podcast feed into your phone automatically. 1 click is all it takes. You are subscribed. You never miss an episode. And of course, if it doesn't work for you, hey, no pressure. It's not for everybody. Unsubscribe at any time. We still remain friends. So go to bigpodcast.com/subscribe, get subscribed, never miss an episode. Got some good stuff coming up. I'm excited to share it with you, and I'll see you on the next episode of Build a Big Podcast.